What's going on, Tackle Warehouse fans? Jake here, bringing another how-to video. Today, we're going to show you how to spool up a bait casting reel. So, first thing you're going to want to do when you get set up is set up some kind of spooling station. So today we're using an old spooling buddy that someone broke and messed up, so we kind of refurbished it for our office. But you need something if you don't have a buddy to hold a pin through your spool line and keep tension on it. So another thing you're going to see that I'm using here today are these little green bands. These are made by Maxima. This is the Maxima Shark Tooth line spooling device or line management system. These are super handy. These go around the spool, they're stretchy, and they do a really good job of keeping tension on the line so you get your line spooled up properly when you don't have a buddy or something to hold that spool and keep tension on it. Another thing they got a little blade in there. That's where it got the Shark Tooth name, so when you're done, you can just pull your line over, cut it right off. You don't have to be fiddling around with scissors or anything like that. Super handy little guys to have. I got them on all the spools of the line in my house in the garage. All right, so the next step, you're just gonna wanna attach the line to the reel. You want to feed it through the line guide, attach it to the spool. Now there is some reels, like these Lew's, that actually have a small hole inside the spool that you actually feed the line through. They're called braid ready spools, and you can tie right off to that, or you just wrap it around and tie it directly to the spool itself. Now one thing I am gonna do is add a little piece of electrical tape down to the spool. It's not necessarily super important to do it with monofilament or fluorocarbon, but this is a key step if you're gonna be using any kind of braided line. If you're using braided line and you don't put down any kind of backing or any kind of electrical tape, the braid is not gonna have anything to grab onto, and you might experience braid slip. So what that is all the line on your spool will spin, and it's not going to engage your drag system. You could hook a fish and you can be cranking the handle, and the inner actual aluminum spool will be spinning 100 miles an hour, but you're not taking in any line. All right, another thing you might want to consider is actually using some braid backing on all your bait casting reels. So if you're using a lot of fluorocarbon line, since fluorocarbon is super expensive, if you use that braid backing, I just use old braid that comes off old reels, or just ends of spools that don't really have much left on them. So you fill that bottom third or half of your spool with braid, and that fills it up, so you're not putting fluorocarbon all the way down to the bottom of your spool and wasting it, because you never really get down to that very bottom, and by the time you do, it's usually old and coiled up and full of memory anyway. So adding that braid down there is actually going to save you a lot of money, so you only put about a cast worth of fluorocarbon on top of that. Another thing it does is, since braid is a lighter material than fluorocarbon, it actually lightens up the overall weight of your whole spool, so that when you go to cast, your spool starts spinning quicker, and you're going to have less backlashes, and you're going to be able to cast a little bit farther, and you're going to have less problems, especially with lighter weight lures. All right, next thing, before you start reeling, is you're going to want to start pinch your line, a few inches or a foot or so above the reel itself. One thing that I like to do, like on all my reels, is I use a microfiber cloth and some of this KVD line conditioner spray. Spray that on there. And then, so this way, you're actually coating all the line and conditioning all the line as it goes onto the reel. And what that does is it's gonna reduce a lot of the memory, and you're gonna just overall, reduce the line twist, reduce the memory. The line comes off the reel a lot cleaner, and you get a lot better casting performance with line conditioner. All right, then you just go into filling the reel. All right, and you're gonna wanna stop when you get about a 1/16 of an inch or so from the top of the spool. You don't want to overfill your spool, because if you overfill it, you're going to end up, causing more backlashes and, more birds nesting issues, and you're just going to overall end up with a bunch of line issues and have a bad time out there on the lake. So use that little Shark Tooth device. So once you're done, you're all set. You can start rigging up whatever you want to throw that day. That's going to wrap it up for today. If you're looking for line spooling devices, we have a bunch of different kinds of line spooling stations that we have available on the website. We'll put a link down in the description so you can check them all out on tacklewarehouse.com. So that's it for how to spool up a bait casting reel. If you enjoyed this week's video, make sure to hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to go to the Learning Center at tacklewarehouse.com and let us know in the comments which other how-to videos you'd like us to create in the future.